Good morning, guys. This is an English version of my Tamil video, which I believe this will have a global reach and people all over the world will use and enjoy this automation. So this is an fully automation for a single phase 1.5 HP submersible motor. So the whole idea or the concept I created because I am coming to this garden on every weekend only. So this is an unmanned garden. There is no one is there. So I wanted to run this motor for every 3 times in every day. 3 times in every day in a day. The problem here is this is a submersible motor. Automation is little, people are doing automation. But the thing is safety. How to automate the whole system with full safe to the motor. If there is no man, we don't know what's happening and the motor may get fault or spoil. So to do that, I have to do something. So I'll share these things. You try and do it for your friends and relatives or whoever. Useful for you as well if you are doing this. So then this automation, this is a regular controller which we use for a single phase submersible motor, and I have not tampered any of this originality. This is as it is. The idea is this will be used for both manual and automatic seamlessly. Just change of switches, it should work, and nothing is altered. I have added my automation, that's it. It's all original. Controller is also safe. So here 2 rows of switches. The first row of switches for on and off and the controller on and off stuff, and this is only motor safety stuff. That's how I lined up. So first I'll start from the timer switch. Before that, there is a changeover switch which can be used for manual and automatic. Now it is in middle, so there's nothing is happening. Both auto and manual is off. If you put up, it is manual, off, automatic. Okay, so when it is in auto mode, this will be there will be power coming to this contactor. The timer is also on. So now this timer, I am just switching it on. You see the timer is on now. The timer is programmed accordingly to run 3 times a day, 7 days a week, and the output of this automated timer goes to this contactor, which will switch on the whole controller, and another contactor, this is for the starting capacitor, I'll tell you in detail. Another out to this on delay switch, and one more out to the auto hold breaker. There are 2 breakers, I'll explain later. This is automatic, this is for manual. Now it is automatic, so it's on. Manual is off. I'll tell you in detail. Okay, these are the output which goes to the devices from the timer. So the time comes, the trigger ons, this will be on, this will be on, this will be powered on. The power also goes to the breaker as well, the right last breaker. Okay, this is all power up. Now once this contactor is on, this power goes to the controller. The main phase and neutral will be on, and immediately, like what we do in the manual startup, hold for 3 seconds to give current to the starting capacitor through this back end NO switch. Okay, this may say manual function, we need to trigger in the automated stuff. So this on delay switch, which is called 800 SQA, is programmed accordingly to hold current in this capacitor for 3 seconds, which the current will be fed to the starting capacitor. Nothing altered, I have just added the current to the starting capacitor. Okay, so now the starting capacitor will hold for 3 seconds to give boost to the more amps to the submersible motor, and then it disconnects. Okay, after 3 seconds. Now that the motor is the current goes to the motor on contactor. Okay, and the hold is happening, this auto hold is happening through this switch, this breaker. Okay, now this power comes to this terminal which is in the motor contactor. From here, this is basically hold, from here it goes to the coil to make the contactor work. In between I have made a small changes. Instead of straight away connecting from this hold to the coil, I have taken this to the motor safety system. So there is an equipment, Nareen overload and dry run safety device, which I am using for many projects in my sites. So this, when this motor on, this also power on, and this will ensure the motor is not doing dry run based on the amps consumption. If the amps is consuming lesser than the regular 5 amps, it will cut, and if the amps consumption is more than 8 amps, it will cut, it will disconnect, kind of setup. From this, I have made one more arrangement using the motor pressure controller. So now this output from this Nareen stuff goes to the on delay switch, which is called 800 SQA. I have done many projects using this guy. This is really working good. Supports almost in some of the sites it's working for more than 3 years. So initially it gives the current for 30 seconds, accordingly it's programmed. 30 seconds it gives the current, after that it disconnects. Okay, when it gives the 30 seconds current, this goes to the that coil for the motor contactor. Okay, and after 30 seconds the relay releases. But if that motor giving output, that is water output, this is a regular RO pressure switch. This guy will hold the, this will become NC. This will give the output of the current which is coming from this Nareen. So from Nareen we have given 2 outputs. One is to the on delay switch, the other output to the pressure switch. So when after 30 seconds this switch on delay timer will disconnect, relay will cut off, but meanwhile we'll get water out, and this pressure switch will charge, and this will give the output. So from this will go to the coil supply, and the coil will charged. Meanwhile I have done one more switches in between this stuff. This is an on delay switch. This holds for 10 seconds. Manual or automatic, anything, the motor will on after 10 seconds. Reason behind this is, when I am doing all these automations, I found if we are doing some mistakes or errors, tuck kind of, the contactor regularly on and off frequently for every 1 or 2 seconds because of some mistakes in the connectivities. So which I don't want to happen when I am not there in this site. So this guy will ensure overall motor will switch on after 10 seconds. Okay, now this guy will switch on, that motor contactor controller will switch on, and the output comes to this guy, this controller output. Then straight away it comes to the breaker. I have added one breaker. This breaker is to basically, when we are doing all this setup, we will do mistakes. So every time it should not know, the motor should not on and off. So we can switch off this guy breaker and you do all the settings, ensure the power is coming properly to all these terminals. If you are happy, your automation is working good, then you switch on. Then that is to save your motor when you are doing this automations. So this is my overall setup. Kindly use yourself, share to your friends, let them also get benefited. This is really working module. Thanks guys, bye bye.